All right, so here we go. One Day Kings, we back.
What up, dog?
Partner.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
for sure. Let's get it in. Um, Business. It's about business, handling business, and some of the things that I can say this year has really shown a lot of. You can see that there is fruit and seeds everywhere to put in the ground, and I think starting this off with realizing that you are the business, and your efforts and the things that you do on a daily basis are the things that help you, be yourself, sell yourself, give yourself to society, give yourself to your cause. When you look at yourself as a business, then it's like there's a little bit more, fighting towards success and fighting towards, like, I need to do this. I have to physically be better. And I can say that's one of the things that I definitely got from you. It's like when you push and you're moving and you're grinding, taking care of yourself as if you're taking care of a business with the working out and the eating right and being hydrated and things like that. All of that encompasses your business, which is who you are, and what you put yourself into makes a difference.
Yep.
Like, what do you feel about that? I know you were kind of looking at some of the some writings earlier, in which we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
No, it's you are the business.
You are the business.
You are the business, bro.
Yeah, straight
like,
up.
Like you not only you the business, like
Yeah.
you the business,
Yeah.
but you are a business,
Yes.
bro. Your last
Yes.
name is what you walk with every day,
Every
right?
day.
What your father did for you, what your grandfather did for you. If you think back, what your great the slaves that came on that ship,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That picked that cotton,
Yeah.
and had to deal with all of that. Like, we've been a business as black people.
Straight
you know
up.
what I'm saying? So it's hard to see when I see a brother that's out there not treating himself at the level, a corporate level that he should be at.
Yeah.
That he should be operating at.
Yeah.
Right? He should be operating at a higher financial level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We lend money. We don't borrow money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
That's the type of place you should be in. As far as like your physical stature, you should always look like you can handle it. I was just talking with my boy a little bit the other day. He was like, "Yo, I had to stop smoking because if I had to put somebody down, I ain't even got the one to protect myself or my family."
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
So where you at physically? Can you, if somebody were to rush you, like, can you protect yourself? Can you protect your family? You got the stamina to stand up and keep it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And be moving. And that's what a business is about, because businesses weather the storm.
Yeah.
No matter what storm comes through, whether it's a hurricane, tornado, whatever it may be, it's still going to be standing tall. You know what I mean? If you built it right and it's standing in the right way. And even you have to rebuild, there may be a couple pieces, but you plan for that.
Yeah.
Right? You got insurance on that. Like, steps ahead of the game because you already seen it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you personally, like, I know we was kind of going over this book that we haven't actually got into, so I'm not even going to touch on this, but like, as far as if you're a business and you're going your day to day, how do you like stay ahead or take a step above, like, drifting from the cause that you have in front of you? Like, what are some of the things that you do, or what do you notice, even if you're like, man, I know I need to do this and I haven't, that I need to keep myself on target as a business myself, as well as even things that you're doing to keep on target with your businesses, like from drifting off and just, going into something that either doesn't serve you or doesn't serve you at the time. Because sometimes for me, I have several different plans. I have several different ways I like to make money. So therefore, some days I'll prioritize things that aren't necessarily a priority, but they are important, but they're just not important at this time sequence of things that I need to make happen. So what keeps you from drifting?
I wake up every morning, the first thing I do, I sit in silence. I get the noise out my head.
Oh, that's important.
Bro, I start with 20 minutes of silence. After I do my silent meditation, literally, if my mind starts thinking about something, I cut it off. Like, I just want silence. Just clear it up. Like, whatever I went down with, what I slept with, whatever I woke up with, in between all of that, it don't matter. I need silence. And then at the end of that, I journal how I feel at that moment.
That's good.
By the end I'm done journaling, it's actually it's like a fresh air. You know what I mean? It feels like I got that off my chest.
Yeah.
Like all of the stuff that was probably bothering me in my head, it didn't even make it to paper.
Yeah.
The real things that I needed to deal with made it to paper.
Yeah.
I do my I do that, I do my worship, then I hit the gym.
Yeah.
After I do that, by the time I'm in the middle of all that, I got clarity as far as what steps and things I need to do along the way.
Yeah.
As far as what I need to take care of that day. And obviously it's the most priority,
Yeah.
the most priority. Family, God, family, and then I hit the money. And then depending upon where things at are in that order, that's what I focus on.
I think that's a great routine, and not just a routine. It's like everything that you said, you prime your system for a day of I have to focus. And I think that's where a lot of things that I'm going to benefit from that, because I think that's something I'm going to probably try to take on, especially just sitting in the morning in silence, writing out everything, because for me, I'll get an idea and I want to see it through, even all the way up until I get it on a paper, or I even start the process or shout or throw my idea to somebody,
Right.
and just to hear it back to see how did that sound, and then I kind of put it in the back of my mind for later, versus if I actually journaled it down, these are all the things that I have that's going through my mind. All right, it's through my mind, it's now on a piece of paper. I have this idea, I can circle back to this, but now I need to get focused on what I need to achieve for today to make today a success, and I don't do that. I can say I've spent 2 or 3 days, just even this last weekend, where I know I'm supposed to be building this set because I want to invite this person to come over and make this content. And I also have some other people that want to use it. And so I've already told the people about it, but yet every day I'm coming up with a new idea how to expand on it. And so I'm kind of drifting off into the weeds instead of just focusing and planning. I need to build this set, have it fixed up, and be ready to go. And I think that's some of the issues that I've been having just within the last week and a half. I have just such a flux of new ideas, and any one of them are actually good, and they all kind of go together. But because they go together, I'm not taking the time to, like, you know how you're making a meal. Okay, if the steak is going to go into the oven, it's going to be in there for 2 hours. So don't check on the steak. It's 2 hours. Work on these other stuff. But I'm not doing that. I'm just playing with the steak or thinking of other things that I can add in there instead of just letting it cook and then me moving on to a side dish.
Yeah.
And so that's an issue. Another thing that I wanted to ask you about, as far as like, when you're in the process, just as a man and just being humble, when you're in the process of like adopting new ideas, where do you put them? Do you try to see them out? Like how I was saying, I have an issue with that. But like when you do get an idea to add to the plan, or if you want to consider it to add to the plan, when do you act? What do you do with those new ideas that come out? Because the day is full of inspiration, especially in my space where I'm an artist. I'm making a post, I see someone else's, and I'm like, wow, I want to act on this, especially in my field where trending things, you may have a limited window before you can act and actually get an impact based off of what you've seen and what you're able to make happen. So what do you do with the new ideas as things are going?
If it hit, it's got to hit, right? You got to feel it, and you got to believe in it. And so if I don't believe in it and I don't see it and I'm not ready for it, then I won't act on it. That doesn't mean it's not something that I want to obtain later down the line in a goal, right? So if it's that important, I'll keep saying to myself or write it down somewhere, I'm going to do that. Like, I haven't done martial arts yet this year, but that's something I told you. That's one thing as a king that you got to be able to do. You got to be able to protect yourself and know how to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? So sure, I can defend myself to a degree, but if somebody that's got some type of skill or some type of skill set and he's up against me, I'm not going to have much of a chance. Right? Because he just knows what to do, and I don't. So those are things that, yes, I can't do it right now, but I know as soon as I get the opportunity to, and it strikes, I'm there. Like, I've already know what gym I'm going to go to, right? I've already looked up the cost. So I'm prepared for that moment when it arrives. It's not just something, oh yeah, I'm going to do that one day. And that's what sometimes we do as kings, right? We be like, oh yeah, we're going to do that. The opportunity comes, you're not ready.
Got you.
You don't have the money, right? You haven't freed up your schedule. You haven't left enough room, or you haven't thought about it further enough to actually envision yourself in there to accomplish where you want to go.
And I think now, like for example, for me, I have like a couple people in my DMs right now that they want to work. They want to create some content. And so it's like, for me, I know creating content, at least for what I have going on, my business in entirety of all the things that I manage, creating content with any creator isn't the number one priority for me.
Yeah.
Just because of just the amount of money it brings in and where I'm at with that business. However, the opportunity is like, it's one of those where it's something I can't just back burner, but at the same time, I know because I have this giant monster that I need to tackle first, I can't give it my creative space and I can't give it my attention. And I don't necessarily want to ruin a relationship already and I haven't even really gotten started yet because I haven't done what I said I was going to do. And I think that's where some of the mix up that I'm having right now. It's like, okay, I need to do what you were saying earlier, which is I need to take the opportunity in the day to say, all right, let me clear my head completely. Now that I've cleared up my head completely, I'm gonna pick up this one task. And just like how you said, I'm not gonna sign up for martial arts right now, but as a process of getting ready, let me at least etch out a plan. And if I don't have time to do the whole plan, at least say what will be the beginning steps of that said plan.
Yeah.
And I can start adding a little piece here. And then at least the next couple of days, this is still in the back burner. I can still work towards, at least I have a clear plan and a goal, and then I can give somebody a timeline and communicate that. Because that's my issue. Hey, I've got this going on right now. However, are you guys looking for something? In which I think I just answered my own question, because I need to communicate that with the people I'm working with to let them know, hey, I have some other things going on. Because it is an honest answer. And hey, I'll be able to do this at this time. I'll circle back with you in a week or so to give you a kind of, to me, it's going to be like a storyboard of this is what we kind of want to shoot. And we kind of want it to go like this. And then
circling back to it, right? We just started off, like, back to the quote of Jay-Z. I'm not a business man. I'm a business man.
Yeah, straight up.
So in the sense of that, opportunity is going to come when you're not going to be ready. You may not have the staff. You may not even have the software. You may not have the coding. You may not have everything at your fingertips.
Yeah.
But if God gave it to you, it's for you to sit down and meditate and pray on for him to help you find the way to achieve that goal and make that opportunity, because you don't know, once you open that door and you execute on that opportunity, you don't know what other doors are going to open behind that.
Correct.
So when you delay on something, or you don't, you lay back, or you just say, forget it, the next one going to come. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe God can't trust you with the next one because you fumbled that last one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't let, nothing can be an excuse. It's more of, sometimes you got to pay for it. You got to come out the pocket and just, I need somebody to come over here literally just to push a button. Like, if we needed someone to push the button just to make sure, I would pay somebody off the street. Pay Julius $10. He would sit there and every time push the button, stop the button, whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's just finding that little help or a little assistance along the way, and also kind of having a community of people that you can gauge and lean on and be like, man, I'm really tripping with this. Like when you stuck in your head, and then be like, hey, bro, you forgot about so and so. Like, oh, I totally forgot. Give me that fool's number.
And
you know what I'm saying?
I think that's something. So again, this is my as we're going on, a very necessary step is to have your journals and your notes and to clear your head. Write out the things that you have in your head. When your head is clear, once your head is clear, obviously the things that are going to be the most important will come back to you exactly as that. This is most important because my brain has brought me here. I need to write all these ideas out. After I write these ideas out, then you make a decision on your week. Am I going to make time for this? And if I am, even if it's an hour just to think about this, I'm going to clear my head, spend 1 solid hour just thinking about what would be a next couple steps or a step
1,000%.
In this chain. And once that gets going, you can then have time to now, all right, I'm going to circle back another hour to have the next conversation about this thing. And then before you know it, you will have a plan in place, or at least a timeline, or a little of both, to be able to execute all the things that you have going on, because every day you're going to take an opportunity to look at the things that you've been blessed. You have a chance to rethink it, revisit the idea, and then that'll solidify whether you want to work on it or not.
Yeah,
And that's something I'm going to have to do it, which is, it's a commitment to, I'm committing myself to my business, to who I am as a person, because all of these things, especially like I'm using the word business, but I'm also talking about personal development and growth. So the things that you need to accomplish for the week, it could be as simple as cleaning your house or cleaning whatever. You have to prioritize that as, this is something that needs to get done sooner than later, and it's something that I can't pass go without having this done. Yeah. And once you look at your week, it is an entirety of like, all right, this is Sunday night. I know I have all these things to accomplish. There's 8 things in 7 days. I have 7 days to accomplish this stuff. Yeah. If new things arise, I can either add it onto my list and trade out for the next week, but everything can be accomplished in the time that I'm allowed. Yeah. And I think that's something that it's more of a conscious and in a way to keep you from drifting, because that's drifting is one of those things that, when you drift away from an idea or from a plan that you kind of created for yourself, it can hurt you.
It can decimate you.
It can hurt you. It can, number one, it stalls time. When you drift off of the track, any
that's
kind
of
way.
Satan wants you to do. That's playing with the devil, bro. That's straight. Yeah. That's a straight attack.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is God tells you, I forgot where it's at. I don't know if it's in Jeremiah or I forgot where it's at. But it says, if you write the plan and make it plain, right? So literally write out your plan. Like right now, if you go in my bathroom, I got stickers, about 8 of them. Each of them have what the goals I want to get to, right? Yeah. So the things that I put in my head, as far as what I think about every day, I simply wrote them out. Yeah. I look at it every morning because I'm brushing my teeth in the morning. Yeah. I'm brushing my teeth at night. Yeah. So twice a day, I'm reading it to myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm understanding as far as that level of dedication that I go in. So when I'm falling or I feel like I'm drifting, it's like, no, bruh, to $1 million. Right? Yeah. Your daughter needs a brand new car. Yeah. Yo, your daughter's about to go to college. Yeah. Right? These are the whispers that because I've written that down. Yeah. Those are the whispers that I whisper to myself. Correct. Right? So that's the love. That's how I love on myself. That's how I get back to myself. That's how I still ride with joy and still show up to a client or to a meeting or have to do something that I may not really want to do because I know where I'm going. Straight up. I think, man, not only is that just, you're creating the conscious that you want to hear yourself, which is that little voice inside whenever you're making a wrong decision or you are off the path, you're making this mantra for yourself. This is the mantra of things that I'm pulling into the universe that I'm going to grab. That's right. Because I'm repetitively looking at it, these are the things that are going to stop me in the moments where I am moving too far away from my goal. I just created the voice that goes into the back of my head. 100%, and I think that's powerful. I used to do that. And when I say I had it in a different way. So like in my bedroom, I'm one of those ones where if I invest in a business, if they have some type of merch, then I'll buy the merch. Not necessarily to wear it, sometimes to wear it, but most times is I have on my wall, I frame the t-shirt Ground Floor. I frame the t-shirt Yield Street. I frame the t-shirt 10X, this program from Grant Cardone. And these are the things that I think of like a mindset, like I'm investing. I have to make sure I keep this on. And then even still, I can say even now where I'm at with my investments, I'm like, oh shoot, I don't know how they're performing. Why? I remove these things from my wall when I rearrange my stuff. Some of the mantras that I had that I used to have on the wall and see on a daily basis, I removed it. So of course, they're no longer in the back of my mind and it's a voice. I have other things in the back of my mind because it's what I'm looking at on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. So I change the voice in my head based off of me changing the things that I had going on. I changed my room around and I changed my direction a little bit and I ended up going way further than what I wanted to go, which is drifting, because I didn't have these solid things that I physically look up to every morning and think about before I start my day. And when I go back into my room, I see the things that keep me moving and keep me motivated. And it's just like the value of a dream board. Do you have a dream board? Yeah, I got a vision board. A vision board. Yep.
Yeah.
So on that vision board is like where I want to retire, the type of car I want to drive,
Yeah.
the yacht I want to have in the marina,
Yeah.
the money I want to leave my kids, what that looks like, right?
Yeah.
Houses and not only that, but it's also giving back to my community. What I want in SAC right here is to have my own building,
Yeah.
to give back to the community and literally have that as a community center.
That's tight.
That's in our community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these are the things that I dream of, and I think if you're not dreaming of the right things, your mind's gonna be focused on the wrong things, and that's where your fear, your doubt, you know, wherever you may be in a negative mindset,
Yeah.
that's where that takes over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it comes out and it shows.
To what you're saying, the reason why the fear can live is because every single day, once you leave your home and you leave the vision or the view of your vision board, you're faced with things that are tangible, things you can see, and they manifest and they help participate and grow the fear because you're not focused. There's always going to have to be a reset. And at that time where you're really deliberate on this is what I want, when you go into the world, you're going to hear how this person failed. You're going to hear this hiccup. You're going to hear all these things. So if you don't revisit the things you write down and the things that's important to you, it's not going to happen for you.
No.
And that's why write it down, make it plain, but you're also going to review this thing and you're going to make it, like you said, this vision board, like I have a vision board, and the vision board that I have, I made it a screensaver on my TV in my bedroom. And so I'm just right now I'm putting the pieces, all the things of why I'm not on track as I was. The things that I had on my wall is gone. I also took the TV out of my room. So now my vision board, which was something I would see when my TV was off and it would flash of all the things that I'm focused on, is now gone. I haven't seen my vision board probably about a year and a half. And so that makes a difference, because then now the things that I was willing, and like willing meaning I'm willing these things into my life, I don't see them anymore. And now I'm focused on the daily bread. And if you focus on the daily bread, which is the thing I tell my wife, you're just gonna get the daily bread. Thankful for the daily bread, always. But the goal should never be just to eat today.
No.
It should not.
No.
It should it's to fill your storehouse. That's the goal. It's always been the goal. I have a storehouse I need to fill, which will feed me and all that's in my camp. You know, kind of like how Joseph in the Bible days, you know, his job was to fill up the storehouses to feed Egypt and everybody else who may needed help. So they created something and built it over a 7-year span and stocked it. And then now they had enough for plenty. And so it's like, those are the type of really key things that I really think about. Like, I put my plan away, I put my vision away, I put the things that keep me motivated away, so it allowed me to drift into territory that was
blind
really
man.
unknown.
Blind. You blind. Just like any company, right? Every company has a vision and a mission statement. What's your vision statement? What's your mission?
Correct.
And that's what keeps you on the path.
And it got to keep you on the path.
If you remind yourself, what's the mission? What's the mission today? What's the mission?
You
know what I'm saying? Write it. If you write them out, you already know what your mission is.
And it needs to be plain.
And it needs to be plain. And then once you have that mission, even if it's one thing, then the next step, just like from Think and Grow Rich, from that you write a plan of how you're gonna get there.
Straight up.
Right?
Straight up.
And then you give yourself a time frame to put yourself in there. And you go after it. And one thing I learned about that book, and it's true, is when a man, a king, whatever he puts his mind to, when he wants that, oh, he gets it.
Definitely.
He gets it.
Definitely.
He gets it. When he really wants it.
He gets it. That's me. Like, my wife thinks I'm arrogant, and I'm like, I get what I really want. There are things that I can think about, I just don't want them. So it's never, oh, do you think you can get that? Well, I don't have to think about that, because that's not something even on my desire list. But anything on my desire list, I will put a plan together. I'll consider what effort it takes for me to acquire this thing that I want,
100%.
Regardless, even if it's a friendship, a relationship, a girlfriend, a wife. That's how I acquire my wife. Like, I want this woman, I'm going to put in some work to get it. But at the same time, I also realize my time and I value myself to not say, because I've acquired this, I'm gonna let this sink my ship.
Yep.
And that'll be a whole nother conversation. But
Yep.
it is, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll let you wrap it up because I know it's starting to get dark and it's gonna change the footage.
Yeah.
And I think we had a really good talk so far. But now that we're talking about what we're doing, what are your plans for this channel? Because I know you started this, and this is one of your
We started
babies.
this. Yeah,
we did, but it was inspired by you and,
Yeah.
and some of the things that you're going through. What do you want to say, like, as far as like a thought to put out there, as far as like how frequent we're going to start meeting, or some of the topics we're going to do? Because I know this morning he kind of came to me, Ryan came to me with some beautiful inspiration, like, hey, let's look at some resources to gather our inspiration. And so we have things not just to talk about that's relevant and current, because it's always about what we're going through, as well as if what we're going through can help anybody else.
Yeah.
But just like day by day, this is what we've learned. And out of this session, I definitely got to grab my journal and kind of get my roadmap going, and so I can be on the right track. So
Yeah.
what do you
No, that's what we're doing, man. We're gonna put a journal together. We got little reflections behind it. They give you a quote for the day, and just give you an opportunity to set yourself and balance yourself out before you go out there on a king. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's basically it's a way of putting your armor on before everything comes attacking you.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, spiritually, all of that. And that's what it is. It's an opportunity for you to put your armor on, remind yourself who you are, where you're at. If you did fall short, you already know what this channel is about. It's One Day King. So no matter how good or great the day was, it's a one day. The next day is a brand new one. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
So if you treat it like that and you're real to it, I promise you that you'll see a difference on your day-to-day. I guarantee you'll make more money. I guarantee your relationships will grow. I guarantee that if you having issues with family or anyone that you had a breakup on, or things like that you need to heal from, those things will start to open up, and that book is going to help you along the way.
Man, that's great. I mean, especially if you put it to practice. Don't buy a book and leave it on the shelf. Put it to practice.
Yeah, it's interactive.
And so yeah, it is, and that's going to be beautiful. Well, man, I appreciate you, bro. This is a cool little session. We're gonna have some more coming at you guys.
Yeah.
Subscribe, please. Click the like button. Share this with anybody that you think who can add value. I mean, add value to you or even the page, because we're open to suggestions and feedback. And let's continue the conversation right here in the comments, because we do care and we do want to know what people think. And we value a community, and that's what it's about, is building a community of people who are striving to be better every single day of the way. That's our goal here with this One Day Kings, is to be better one day at a time. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in and listening this far. And I said my piece.
Yep. Thanks, bro.
All right, for sure. Yep. That was good.